The Village of Lincoln Heights Committee of the Whole is now in session. Today's date is Monday, November 23rd. The time is 6:39. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Present.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Present.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Present.
We have 7 who are present. We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to start with our speaker, Mr. Marvin Francis of GE Aviation, along with Ms. Bonita Davis. They're here regarding the GE Six Sigma Training Lindy Project. So, Mr. Francis, you're on.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. So on behalf of GE Aviation, myself and Bonita are here. We were asked to train the team, the Lincoln Heights team, on project management, Six Sigma and Lean. Give me a second. Let me close my door first. Sorry. So we were asked to go ahead and train the team on project management, Lean, and Six Sigma. Now, initially, we thought we would do kind of a formal training where we had a 45-minute class of some sort and with 15 minutes of questions. But Bonita had an idea and thought, let's walk the team through an actual project that they own. And as opposed to making sure we train them, say, business jargon, our focus is really training the team on how to consistently deliver value to the customer. The customer in this case is the community of Lincoln Heights. So we really want to train them with a project that they own to deliver needs and value to the customer. Now, as we were working on this on Friday, this past Friday, compliance came up. And of course, GE Aviation, we're big on compliance. And the issue is that because we're walking them, as I understand it, as we're walking them through a real plan that could be used for these projects, the issue is they want to make sure that the right people are present to walk through this. And that's when we said, okay, let's stop, have me on this call to discuss what we're trying to do. So one of the key aspects of the training is going to be what's called a stakeholder list, where we build a list of people that are key to the project and equally to this training so that we make sure those people are involved. And this is going to be even big for compliance, right? So having the right people involved on the list at all times and in the know of the project and the planning and the work we're doing helps alleviate any future compliance issues. So as a safety measure, that's why I'm here to say, yes, we are actually walking through a real project that could be used. Now, of course, as I talked to Durance about this, Durance understands, hey, nothing we do won't be presented to you all first as a compliance issue. So again, just keeping things safe. But again, we just wanted to give the team experiential learning, right? Not a bunch of PowerPoint slides and teach them a bunch of words. It really is walking them through their project that they own, that they have a heart to, and learning how to deliver this value that the customer needs on a consistent basis. Questions?
So council, is there any questions? I know Ms. Key had some concerns, and I know Ms. Mitchell and Mr. Daniels was attended. I was there for a short time because I had an incoming training session. So the floor is open. Who has any questions for Mr. Francis?
Well, Mayor, I really don't have a question necessarily for Mr. Francis, but just clarification from Mr. Desai. It seems that one of the biggest concerns that council has had is making sure there's no 4 people at the meeting. But in this case, it was 4, so we just want to make sure that it's understood it's a training and we can kind of go through this without it being construed as 4 council people meeting.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So under the Open Meetings Act, information gathering, Say, for example, you went to Memorial Field in a group of 4 or more to listen to the professional designer, explain what they're planning on doing. That type of information gathering session is exempt from the Open Meetings Act. Likewise, as you know, under Ohio law, council members are required to get training. And so if you were to attend as a group of 4 or more training session regarding the Open Meetings Act, Robert's Rules of Order, other sunshine laws, those type of things, those are all exempt from the Open Meetings Act. And again, I know sometimes at some of the training sessions, they will try to give you just sort of a bright line rule of don't ever get together in a group that constitutes a quorum. And I think, there's some logic to that because it certainly eliminates any doubt. But understand, if a group of council members want to go to Wendy's in Lincoln Heights and have lunch, and that, it's a group of 4 or more, they can do that. You just cannot discuss public business. That's the key to it, is that if you're in a group that constitutes a quorum and you are discussing public business, that's when the sanctions of the Open Meetings Act come into play.
So, Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
And I do appreciate that clarification. I did bring up the conversation because once again, we do want to err on the side of caution. And I think everybody agreed on that. I think the work is fabulous to be going through that process and that training and that learning. I am in agreement with that as well. But because it was, to me, it felt like it was more than us gaining facts and understanding. We were actually presenting what we thought and what we felt. And even though it was all mock, it aligned a lot with some of the things that we had actually done before in the past when it came to planning and talking about what we wanted to see in the village. And I just wanted to make sure that all of council was aware of it. And I think everybody agreed. Mr. Francis, was highly, on point with it. We want to make sure that we're in compliance. And if we need to make a motion in a matter of for council to say, this is what we want to do, we do want to process through this, we may or may not use some of the information that comes out of the courses or the classes, however you want to say it, but we might use it. And if we decide to use it, is that going to be an issue, going forward, considering the way in which we came up with what we're working with? That was so that's that fine line of just wanting to make sure that we're fully transparent and what we're looking at, what we're discussing, what we're talking about. Yes, it's for the betterment of the village. All those good things are there, but we just want to make sure that we are, following our rules and making sure that everybody is aware and making sure that we're transparent, making sure that we're doing things right. So then we get to the end of this project, we don't have this big blow up.
Yeah, and I think that's an excellent point. First off, you're right. I mean, sometimes it does feel like you're skating towards that line, and it's always better to err on the side of caution. Simply asking a question typically is not going to, cross that line. But if you start getting into actual discussion among council members about, hey, here's how we would implement this for this, piece of the village, whether it be Memorial Park, whether it be serving the children at the elementary school, that's the point at which you probably want to stop. And just like executive session where you can't take any formal action, certainly, there should be no motions or anything of that nature. All of that should be done in an open meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting because we're talking budget, we're talking what the different phases of that Lindy project is. So I don't know, it is kind of specific in my opinion, because it is an actual project plan with high level milestones. I see Durant has his hand up though.
Yes, Mr. Daniels.
So and I guess in clarification, the point where it becomes public is when we start making official motions to implement these things, correct? And I guess and where I'm clear, and I think to Mrs. Key's point, even if we make a motion for a project that was done in this format, because it's not just council members as well. It's almost like the ULI, when we had the Urban Land Institute meeting, that think tank a couple years ago, where you had some council members, you had stakeholders Hamilton County. You had people from Silverton. You had a lot of different people that came out with the quote unquote plan. You know, it was never voted upon, but it still came out of that way. This is still kind of that same formula where you have different stakeholders throughout the community, and it just happens to be on a specific project. But like I said, nothing's being brought, but nothing. So I guess, so even if something was brought to council out of this plan, would that make it a violation? Or?
Yeah, so it's something a little bit less of a standard than just making formal motions, Mr. Daniels. If there's actual discussion of public business, then I think at that point, you're probably better served to make that meeting open to the public. You know, it's not just the formal motion, it's the actual discussion of public business.
Well, if the meetings are open, so when you mean open to the public, like what would technically be mean open? So our meetings are recorded, anybody can jump onto the meetings. So what would technically be open to the public?
Well, those are a couple key ingredients, and then, you know, notice, so that there would, you know, the way the village would normally provide notice of, say, a special meeting, the village would want to do that. And then if it's open to the public, you know, at that point, you're fine. That's all the Open Meetings Act requires. It just doesn't want things that deal with public business being done behind closed doors. So as long as you're providing notice and there's a vehicle for the public to view the meeting, then you're fine.
And all those have taken and agreed, right, Miss? I know I don't want to say Miss Key brought it up, but that's fair to say that it was recorded and everybody had a chance to hop on the meeting. So
Okay.
So I have two hands up, Ms. Mitchell and then Ms. Charles Jeter. You're on mute, Ms. Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm thinking that when you say public business, so we're not really discussing anything that has technically come out of any council meeting or any committee meeting. I guess I sort of view it as we're putting together a model that could be used for any particular project. So if we're not bringing information, because in the in the way that the meeting is going, I don't see us any need, and Mr. Francis, you can correct me if I'm wrong, to make any motions on anything in what we're doing, you know. And so at the end of the project, here's a model that can be used by anybody, you know, fit another project inside that model. I guess that's how I sort of saw that. Maybe I'm incorrect.
Nope, no motions. You know, we don't have any plans. We're more like coaches. It's more like us walking you all through a project plan. Now, that being said, you are using real, you know, thoughts on what you want the project to look like at the end. But once brought up to the council and something changes, the team will be empowered to be able to make the change effectively using the techniques they're learning, which is the real key. So no, we don't. No motions. We're not going to be doing anything through and saying, hey, spend this money here or do this that way or stuff like that. No. No way.
Okay, next is Ms. Charles Jeter.
Mr. Desai, I attended the Sunshine Law training, and in there it was stated that it's also the perception if someone wants to register a complaint and they saw us in a spot together, then they may say we were having a public meeting and we were having a meeting. So that creates a problem for me when you're saying that it's okay to do this and then the training said you should not do this. Example is that Elmwood came to that particular meeting or training and they rode together and he said that you can't do that. Council cannot ride together because someone may perceive that as a meeting. May not be true, but they may register that complaint. So I'm just saying that to you. So when we talk about doing different things together, I always say that I can't do that because there are two of us on the same committee. So,
Yeah, and best practices may be to just never have a quorum of members together. The issue about riding together has come up, usually in the context of traveling to Columbus or some further distance for training. And I researched that pretty hard when it came up several years ago, because the actual trainer said, don't do it. That's more their personal opinion than it is grounded in case law or the statute. But as a best practice, if you want to employ that, there's certainly nothing wrong with doing that.
Okay, Ms. Key, I see your hand is up.
Thank you, Mayor. So one of the points that I was thinking of when we were in the session on Friday was that perhaps we offer a motion in council to continue to explore this work, make it public, i.e. present it to where it's posted, the notices are posted, present the link so anybody can hop on, so that we can continue to do the work, because GE has invested time with this particular project that we're working on. And I personally think it is a good, exercise that we can use and work through, even if we don't, but just to err on the side of not even being perceived as doing public business without going through the other protocols that, I don't want to find myself in that situation where I'm having to say, oh, no, it wasn't. Oh, no, it wasn't. When we can just alleviate that and just make that motion come out of committee or come out of council saying that we can. But as long as we get everything open, it is being recorded. Like I mentioned earlier, Mr. Daniels has provided that video, so anybody could see it at any time. We know that we have a new village manager that's coming on board. This is just a great opportunity to start some exercises with council, working with the village manager, working with an entity that is very supportive of our community. And we appreciate that. And we want to continue to learn. We want to continue our training and our skill set as we continue to do business for the village. That was my thought.
Okay, all right, Mr. Daniels, I'm gonna go ahead and let you answer that, then we're gonna move on. Go ahead.
I just had a question. I had a question as well, and I know because I agree with everything Councilwoman Key said, that if we can just make these public, I think that just alleviates a lot of it. My only question is the format that we've been using is Microsoft Teams instead of Zoom. So the fact that we're using a different technology forum to hold it in, does that make a difference, Mr. Desai, or is it just the fact that the link is available to anybody? That's all that pretty much matters.
Well, no, the House bill that allowed for remote meetings, as we call them, didn't specify that you use Zoom or Microsoft Teams, or I think I did what is it called, Google WebEx last week or something like that. You can use whatever you want. The interesting thing is that all this is set to expire a week from today. I did see an update last week that there was legislation working through the state assembly to extend this to, I think it was June or July next year.
Yeah, July 1st, I sent the email out. So they went ahead and voted and extended it. So I know that was good news to a lot of council members that we don't have to worry for quite a while. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. How long does this training last?
That's a good question. The way we're doing it, I didn't really have a plan on length of time. Really, I want to walk them through this project charter. I would say that'll take maybe 4, 5-ish more sessions, possibly. Those sessions are about an hour long. And then I'll reconnect with Dan Bronson what we think the team needs from then on. But I didn't have a set plan because in initial for a class.
You're frozen.
You're breaking out in and out, Brother Marvin. Yeah, your connection is a little slow.
To know some jargon and some business words, but that's not
All that.
Oh,
whether different,
there you go.
nuanced, and harder than.
Mr. Francis, I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, we
breaking
don't
it,
hear you
breaking it
anymore.
down, Marvin.
I'll
Hey,
just touch base with Mr. Daniels because
Yeah.
I like to see a curriculum and dates, and I got to have a little bit more order
Okay.
for
Ms.
me.
Pope.
That's just for me.
Ms. Pope is waving. Ms. Pope?
I just wanted to know, is there a cost for this training? And what is that cost?
No cost.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ms. Mitchell, go ahead.
So are we okay to do this or not? I mean, because it's a training, so to speak, where we learn some techniques that we can apply to any project that we come to, that we decided we may want to do on council. It doesn't have to be the one that's being discussed in the particular meeting. So are we okay to do it? I'm still not clear on, yeah, it's okay to go ahead and discuss the project with some individuals who are in this. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Francis said that there is certification afterwards.
To my understanding, wasn't it the project has to do
No,
with Lincoln Street?
real
The Lindy project, is that what it's
Real
listed
quick.
as? Go ahead.
Yeah, so regarding certification, we can provide links for members that want to pursue certification afterwards. You will not be able to be certified in Lean Six Sigma or project management
Okay.
at the end of this training.
So Mayor, you say the Lindy project, but we don't, that might be the name that I guess that this group is calling it, but we don't have a Lindy project, right? The village does not have a project called the Lindy Project. So therefore it's not a public thing that we're doing. Unless it's something I don't know. I don't think we have a project called the Lindy Project. I think that we as
But
individuals.
that's what it's, when I got the email, that's what it's listed as, the Lindy project. And to my understanding, that's what was discussed. He said
Yes.
they were doing a live project.
Right, but I'm saying the village does not have a project on tap called the Lindy Project. So it's not like we're taking village business and putting it into this particular activity. You know what I'm saying? The village doesn't have a Lindy Project. That's just what,
Okay, Ms. Key has her hands up.
And I think, thank you, Madam Mayor. And I think to Ms. Mitchell's point, because it does say the Lindy Project, it gives the impression as if
Right.
it is a project from the village, which is what, and I think we can just clear it by offering a motion, council agreeing that we can continue with this training, understanding that it's a mock training, but also understanding that we could potentially use some of the work that comes out of it, as long as we make it a public meeting, as long as we do our due diligence to make it accessible to the community, which I've never heard that the community was not allowed to come in and give input. So I don't think any of those things that will cause us those issues are there. I just think for our purposes, we just need to, and I guess that's my question, Mr. And maybe Mayor or Mr. Desai, do we just offer a motion in council that this project will be working on with GE, however we need to make that motion. So that way we clear it all up. And even if it's Lindy Project, or we say it's Leggett Street Project, or anything, if it's identifying something in a village, I think that's where my concern is, that it can be construed as public, even though we don't have a project right now, but it is one of our properties. It's on one of our streets. We're using that term. So that's my thinking. And I could be off. If I'm off, that's fine. If we say we can just do it, which I don't think we should, but I think we should offer a motion, agree on it, come out of council with a motion to go forward with the project, continue to call it what we're calling it, continue to do the work, still understanding that it is a mock project, because you need a project for Six Sigma Lean to process through it. So you got to have a project, and having a real, close to real as possible is the best way to learn from it.
So yeah, the motion, you are correct. The motion will have to take place at the regular council meeting. Ms. Chalsey, you're the last hand, and then we're going to move on to the agenda after I thank Mr. Francis after you. Go ahead. You're on mute.
Yeah, I know I've been a little under the weather, so I'm behind. Is this a collaborative effort with GE and the Village of Lincoln Heights, or is it with GE and Mr. DeRosa's group? So I'm not sure where we are with this. Who owns this project?
I think it's a community project. It's a lot of different stakeholders involved. You got council members, you got residents, you have GE people. This is a community project. I don't think it's just one group that owns it.
So who leads the community piece? I have to ask questions if I don't understand it.
I guess the mayor was on there last time. We invited our village manager. We invited all the council members on there. So I assume the people that leads the village, I don't understand about leading the village because it's just mock training, would be the leaders of the village that's on the meeting, I would assume.
So it's just mock training. We're getting this to move on to whatever we want to do. Is that where we are? There's no agreement between parties, or as I said before, I'm lost. I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm lost too, because you just lost me. I don't know what agreement we would make. I think we're just working on a mock project to get better project planning training. I don't think there needs to be some type of agreement amongst that. So
okay, I just want a clarification because I don't know who GE is directly working with. If you just say community, then okay, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Francis, you didn't have anything to say?
Is he frozen again? You're on mute, Mr. Francis, and I think you're frozen too.
Oh, am I frozen? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I have anything else to say.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you, Mr. Francis. And did Miss Davis want to speak? I know she was in attendance. I see her name.
Hi, Mayor. I'm here. I think Marvin covered everything, but we're happy to help and happy to volunteer time to help get the team up to speed on using some problem-solving techniques to hopefully go and add value to the community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Davis, for coming, and thank you, Mr. Francis. Looking forward to, so when is the next date? I think it's in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Correct, 2 weeks Friday.
Okay.
So not this Friday, next week Friday.
Okay, all right. And so I'm sure another link will go out to council.
Yes.
And I guess we can put that on our website. As we,
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, put that on our website so the residents will be able to be a part, and then we won't have to consider it. We'll do our due diligence when it comes to open meetings. And their input is very important. So thank you once again. And looking forward to seeing you in the near future.
Awesome. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Night.
Okay, we're going to go on to the standing committee report. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because I know with a lot going on this year with COVID and the census and the election, we wanted to make sure that we get back to the basics. So that's why some of the listings I know the parliamentary retreat should have actually went down in new business, but I just wanted to mention regarding the standing committee reports. I know Ms. Randolph will be working diligently, which was one of the concerns of council at our last meeting about making sure that you all get your minutes on time so that we can get your standing committee reports for the committees in, and each council member that's a chair or co-chair can give that information to the residents, and that we're showing that we're doing what we need to do with each committee with the recommendations and what you all are working on. So we are going to have a couple of committee reports this afternoon in our regular, tonight on our regular council meeting, but I just wanted to talk about it. and to let everybody know that we're going to be working hard to get your minutes in so that the standing committee reports are in on time. Yes, Ms. Key.
Madam Mayor, thank you. Can you tell me when the committee reports are due to the clerk?
Yeah. So actually the clerk would need to get the minutes to you all, because so I know that's why some of them were not in on time. We are going to let you all know. So moving forward, actually they do the reporting part, usually the first council meeting, usually finance would report. And then the second council meeting is usually, well, safety and finance would normally report at the first council meeting. And at the second council meeting, it's economic development, law, and recreation. So we're going to be working hard to make sure you get your minutes in a timely manner so that you'll be able to prepare and get your standing committee report filled out and turned into Ms. Lisa so that she can share that with council in case you have questions as they're giving their committee reports. Yes, Vice Mayor.
I don't understand why you need your minutes to do your report, because if you're the chair, you know what's being said because you're writing your own notes, and I never, when I had to do I never used the minutes. I always just went off of my agenda, and I don't understand why you need minutes to do a report.
Believe it or not, some people need their minutes because we have to get the minutes are supposed to be given actually to each one like 3 days after they've had their committee. But some people take good notes, some don't. But I think that shouldn't be the crutch, but that does help in case there's something that you missed, you can compare them. But that's a good point that you're saying, Vice Mayor, that you take your own notes. But hey, that's what the minutes are there for as well, to help you, assist you. But we are gonna, whether you take notes, we're gonna make sure that we do our due diligence and get these minutes to you guys earlier than what we've been doing. Was there another question on them about it? Okay, all right. Next is the boards and commission update. I know at the previous meeting, we had talked about, I think one was the recreation. So with COVID, what normally happens, Ms. Key, I normally would post the very beginning of the year that we're looking for residents to apply for the boards and commissions. We usually hang it out there for 3-4 months. Have it posted, but I'm thinking due to COVID, no one was, we're all isolated in. And so that may be why we have a lot of expired terms. So what we're planning to do is going into next year, go ahead and start posting now, November, December, so that we'll be ready to, in January, we have some individuals. I do know when it came to recreation, myself and Ms. Randolph looked over the listing, and there are 3 seats open. What has normally been the practice is we always would reach out to individuals that were previously on the committee to see if they were still interested or if they wanted to move on. But I do know we normally would have them come and speak if we were inside the building. They would come and speak before we voted on them being on there, because it's always important to find out who we're putting on the boards and commissions, what they expect, and what, their expectation, our expectations. I know it's volunteer, but we really need some individuals, the residents, to not just be a name only, especially with recreation. I do know that recreation, Ms. Baber, Councilman Daniels, Vice Mayor, all of us are wanting to make the 75th be very successful. And it's going to take not just 7 council members, but we really, really, really need our residents to be a part. So that's one reason why we're going to go ahead and get pushed, not just for recreation, but others, and see if we can do some type of I'm gonna say a workshop with them so they can actually know why they're on these committees. That was my plan for this year, especially with the Planning Commission. We had 3 new people on there, and our plan was to send them to another community to get ideas, find out any additional training there may be through National Legal, Center for Local Government, I'm sorry. Just, it's a lot of tools out there, and we just need to reach out and get those resources to educate our standing, not our standing, but our boards and commission residents. So that's why I wanted to just talk about it, see what you all thought when it comes to that. Okay. All right, so if there's nothing on that, next, which actually parliamentary 2020 retreat was actually supposed to be a new business. So I'll just let you all know what we're planning to do. So normally every 2 years, someone gets elected. Mr. Desai gives a training. And so with everything that's going on with City of Cincinnati, and some things that I know that we can work on, I think it's time for council, all of us get together and do a parliamentary retreat. It will be the first of the year. I have reached out to the organization that normally does the parliamentary. I know Mr. Desai is going to be doing a portion, but I am going to be reaching out to some of the instructors that when I attended the Ohio Mayor's Conference earlier last year, one thing they had was excellent was regarding social media. So we're gonna just add a little twist to how we usually do the retreat. We want to scan it down to just 2 hours because I know you guys are busy. And so a portion of it will be over Robert's Rules and Order. We'll be going that, and I want to find out later on, you can email Ms. Randolph if you need a copy. We want to make sure that we get those booklets ordered so everybody will be ready the beginning of January to start with that. We're also going to be going over rules of council. I know when we first, over a year ago, we would pick segments out of rules of council or segments out of the charter, but that will be a part of it also, just to make us better council members. No one's, we all can get some training in something because the mind can only retain so much. So that's what's in store for 2021. So any questions regarding the retreat?
Madam Mayor?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Just one quick question. Do we have any idea what edition we're on from Robert's Rule of Orders?
I have no idea because I haven't had one along with the Sunshine booklet. We want to make sure that those are everybody gets a fresh copy of that. Ms. Mitchell, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I guess my concern is that even though we have some parliamentary procedures that are in our charter, we typically yield to the rules of council. And some of the parliamentary procedures are in there. So it's not like we strictly follow parliamentary procedures. So Ms. Key, you can probably find those that we have that we yield to in the rules of council that's in the charter book.
And I was going to ask for a copy of that too, because I don't have the current one. But I mean, I have my book for Robert's Rule of Order, and I just wondered if we had another revision. If not, I'm fine. I could probably Google it too, but okay. I was just curious.
Okay, and so okay, I'm sorry, Ms. Cheater, go ahead.
I believe there is a new edition because they are dealing with the virtual meetings.
Okay.
I think I heard that at another meeting that I attended. So I think we all need new books.
Yeah.
I think so too. I agree. I'm looking forward to the retreat. It was actually going to be planned this year, but with COVID, everything just fell by the wayside. We had to get acclimated to Zoom and everything happened in March. So, but that's the plan for 2021. And so next month, I'll be sending some information out regarding the goals. I know it's not on there, but I'll be sending some information now. We want to wrap up what we had planned and whatever we couldn't do this year, moving into next year. Okay, so that took care of that. We're going to go straight into new business. First reading of resolution number 2020 R36, resolution establishing a special revenue fund for the public entities pool of Ohio Safety Grant. Any questions for Ms. Pope? Okay. All right. Next is the first reading of resolution number 2020 R37, authorizing the finance director to transfer 2020 appropriations between expenditures, classifications, and the general fund. Ms. Pope, did you need to elaborate anything on this? I see two Ms. Pope.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the second resolution, you heard, can you?
Echo.
Feedback? Yeah. All right.
Did you read?
Does it sound better now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try it this time.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay. So we have to transfer funds from the police contract service to capital, police capital, in order to purchase the police vehicles, because there was no original appropriation for the purchase of 2 new sheriff's vehicles. So that's what that transfer is all about.
Okay. Any questions? Yes, Ms. Key.
Madam Mayor, thank you. No question, just a comment. And probably, I don't know how these meetings are broken up when they're actually viewed to the public necessarily, but because in the title of the legislation, it doesn't have the details like why we're moving the monies. So perhaps when we get to that point and we ask questions, maybe that's a good time for Ms. Pope to just talk about why we're doing it instead of having to read the whole thing. I guess that's my thought, because a lot of times we just go title only and kind of move through, but I think this is something that we probably should highlight, this one and the next one as well.
Okay.
Just in the language or either in the questions or conversations or discussion, just to talk about what the legislation is for while we're voting for it.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Pope, we can have her elaborate before we vote on it in a regular council meeting for residents that may not be in on this meeting, but that would help when we start voting. Thank you, Ms. Kiefer. Okay. All right. The next one is first reading resolution 2020 R38, authorizing assistant village manager to enter into a vehicle purchase contract with Cincy Autos Incorporated, DBA, Lebanon Ford, for the purpose of 2 new police vehicles and to purchase from PAR Public Safety Equipment, associated equipment for said vehicles. I think that's a type of, there's a O needs to be in there. Okay. So I guess, yeah, she can elaborate on that. Any questions? Okay. Next is the resolution number 2020 R39.
Mayor, I had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Ms. Pope, did we go over any of the amount that we had agreed on?
Did we actually go over the
I mean,
part?
with this, with the purchase, what was the amount that we agreed on?
No,
for the
the
2
parts
vehicles
were
fitted?
62, and then the outfitting was 6,000, a little over 6,000.
Mhm.
So it was a total of 72, I believe.
Okay, and we agreed on 72.
We had discussed the original, just the cost of the vehicles, which I thought that the outfitting was included, but the sheriff's department told me that did not include the outfitting. So the outfitting is the 6,400 or 6,200.
Yeah, because I thought they said it included that too.
Yeah, he said it wasn't included.
Okay. And we're paying for them outright, or we're paying for some now and we're paying over 5 years?
Those two are outright. The the snow vehicle is 5 years.
5 year, okay. And we already had money in the budget for that, right, for this year?
The CARES Act afforded us the money for the sheriff's vehicles.
Yeah, those are the same questions that I think Ms. Key wanted us to share. That's why I asked.
Okay.
Okay, so keep that thought because you're gonna say it again in the regular council meeting.
Oh, I'm gonna forget.
Okay, the next is resolution number 2020 R39, authorizing the assistant village manager to purchase a 2020 Ford F-550 snow truck from Reichert Ford for service department operations and to enter into a lease purchase agreement with Ford Motor Credit Company for the financing of said vehicle. Ms. Pope, anything you want to add?
No, that's the one for the 5 year, the 5 year
Okay.
lease.
Okay. So when we come back to that, can you say that again? So whoever's watching, they'll know, because if not, you and Ms. Powder will probably receive phone calls along with council members.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Whose hand was up first? Okay, Ms. Jeter.
All of the pieces of resolutions that you have here have emergency clauses too. So I assume that we need to pass them tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Vice Mayor.
I was trying to find Reichert. I just see Lebanon Ford. But I think we got an old paper with Reichert Ford, correct?
It's all attached from what I could see.
On the back page, Reichert,
Yeah.
R-I-C-A-R-T.
Yeah,
Reichert Ford, they're right.
Reichert, yeah. Right at that page that you want, Vice Mayor, at the top where it says the date, underneath it says the dealer is Reichert Ford.
Okay, all right. I see somebody else Ford. Okay, but all right.
There's two
Okay.
Ford, Vice Mayor. There's Lebanon
Okay.
Ford and Reichert Ford.
Yeah.
Sure.
Looks like Lebanon Ford is for the police cruisers and Reichert Ford is for the snow truck.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Key?
Thank you, Mayor. So this is a question about the financing, and I think we're financing through a pool, right? A municipality pool. Is that correct, Ms. Pope?
No, it's
okay.
No, it's
Well,
through,
the reason why I was asking about the rate, the interest rate, and although that 5.9 is not a big interest rate, but I was curious as to, was that based on our credit at the village or was that based on the pool? That's why I was asking if it was part of, you know how you get the municipalities pull together their funds and their resources and their buy collective power. So their buying rate is a little bit lower. So I'm trying to figure out, is that based on that or is that based on the village's credit?
Mr. Willis. Where's he at?
He's there.
And if Mr. Willis and Mr. Dukes actually went to,
Hey, I hear you.
there he is. Can you
Ford,
with the government program?
that's a flat rate for Ford municipalities. It ain't based on the village's credit.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All
I
right.
think we should say that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's based upon that, but Ford it changes weekly, so it can go up or down. But Ford they change it based on the numbers that they have, but it ain't no village credit percentage or nothing like that.
Okay. All right. Okay, next is.
I had a question, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. Does this come with a warranty? Who does the maintenance? Who will do the maintenance on this vehicle?
These are all new vehicles, so they all come with a warranty.
Okay, do you know how long the warranty is for? Well, if you could get that information for me, I'd like to know how long the warranty is for, because I want to make sure that it's being maintained.
It's usually for a certain mileage, but I'll get you that information.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Next is miscellaneous business. So I did contact Mr. Desai, and I'm sure some of you hopefully wanted to discuss the legal, Lincoln Heights legal fees for the solicitor. So we did send that information to you all, and you all that had questions were to let him know what the questions are, as I did see some come across. So Mr. Desai, did you get those questions? And he'll be able to address that. And if y'all have anything else that y'all want to ask him, he actually wanted to find out so he will be able to prepare for your questions. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I did get emails from 2 council members. So those were helpful with regard to the questions that they had. So I'll just jump right into it. It's obviously been my pleasure to serve as solicitor since 2007. I was working with at the time with Fanon Rucker, who him and I had an office right next to each other at the same firm. And Fanon would ask me to do, of course, the transactional stuff. If we were selling a backhoe, do the bill of sale. If we had a real estate closing, do that. And then when Fanon started campaigning, he asked me to sit in. It's actually interesting because he came to my office one day at 4 o'clock and said, "Do you know anything about Robert's Rules of Order?" And I was like, "I'm embarrassed to say I do." And he's like, "Great, I need you to cover a council meeting tonight." So that's how I came into this position. As you know, Fanon back in, I want to say it was 06, ran for Hamilton County Prosecutor the first time. Then he ran against Judge Stock, and then eventually he was appointed to the bench. I forget the governor's name. Was it Governor Strickland, I believe, maybe back then? But in any event, that's sort of how I came into this. So most of you know Fanon was trained by Judge McLean. May he rest in peace. And then, Fanon gave the baton to me. So when I came in, we just stuck with the same fee contract that was in place. And that fee contract was that there was a flat fee for services such as attending regular council meetings, drafting legislation. And then there was a a la carte fees framework for things like that were called extraordinary services. And that would be for things like dealing with contracts, filing legal actions, things of that nature. In 2009, the rates were changed. They were up $500. So the flat fee was up to $4,500. And the village has had that rate for over a decade now. So hint, hint, it might be time for a raise, but there is no laughter. That's bad. In any event, I'd like to show you the contract because I think it might help. Do I have the ability to share screen, or can someone make me a co-host, please?
Stephen, can you make Mr. Desai co-host?
He's co-host now.
Okay, thank you. All right, so all right, can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing, you'll see that it's dated May 1st, 2018, and I said the last time we did anything was 2009. As many of you know, I was at a firm for 16 years, the firm that Fanon and I were at, and then I left that firm effective May 1st, 2018. So the rules of professional conduct require us to have a contract with our clients. So we did do a contract for my new firm, which is right here, Donald, Donna, and Miller, but the contract was the same as what we did back in 2009. Here is where the rubber meets the road. So right here, can everybody see my cursor that I'm moving?
Nope.
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay. So let's do it this way. The paragraph I have up that starts, firm agrees to provide legal services to village as outlined in Ohio Revised Code. The second sentence says, firm shall be compensated $4,500 per month, which is the flat fee for general services, plus expenses. With regard to the expenses, there are no expenses that go beyond mileage, and postage would only be if we sent something out like certified mail. Then it goes on to say general services shall include attendance and representation at regular council meetings. So we do 2 of those a month. Attendance and execution of duties as prosecutor at regular sessions of mayor's courts, which they're also twice a month. This does not include matters that are appealed or transferred from mayor's court to the Hamilton County Municipal Court. So it's only for actual appearances in Lincoln Heights Mayor's Court. Provided, however, that such duties may be subcontracted to a qualified individual or organization by the firm, the law firm, in which case the firm shall pay for such services out of the flat fee. So let me stop there for a second, because I have never practiced criminal law. And as you know, mayor's court deals with a lot of criminal offenses, misdemeanor offenses, minor misdemeanors. So we contract that out to Liz Ty. The way Liz Ty came on board was, we're going back probably about 10 years, but when Alan Triggs was the magistrate for mayor's court, I asked him who he would like to work with, and he indicated he'd like to work with Liz Ty. So we gave the contract to Liz Ty. But that amount that Liz Ty gets paid out of that $4,500 flat fee. That's not an additional charge to the village. So continuing on with what general services and the flat fee includes, drafting ordinances and resolutions, drafting contracts for village officials, administrators, employee staff, and contract workers, general advice and counsel on legal issues such as Ohio sunshine laws, home rule power, constitutional issue, governmental immunity, and federal and state employment laws, training counsel, commissions and boards on legislative procedure, requirements under Ohio sunshine laws, and on areas of responsibility. And then finally, general advice and counsel, whether in person, via email, or over the telephone to council, the village manager, department heads, and staff. So that's a lot to take in, but basically the general services at $4,500 a month includes mayor's court, attending council meetings, drafting legislation, and then dealing with things that come up that are related thereto. So for example, if the Charter Revision Committee asks me to help them with something, that gets covered underneath this. But that's the big umbrella that oversees the general services contract. The next paragraph addresses the extraordinary services contract, or part of the contract. And it says, firm shall also provide extraordinary services to the village. Firm shall be compensated $75 to $200 per hour for extraordinary services plus expenses. The reason there is that range is, for example, a paralegal might be compensated at $75, whereas a partner with knowledge about municipal law might be compensated at $200. So that's why you have that range there. Firm shall record time spent on extraordinary services matters in quarter-hour increments, which is 0.25 hours. Extraordinary services shall include all items not specifically identified as general services. The hourly rates for extraordinary services are $75 for paralegals, $140 for associates, and $200 for partners, provided, however, that DPOC decides hourly rate shall not exceed $175. So that was just sort of a built-in discount because I do most of the extraordinary service work myself. The rest of this, and I'm happy to go through it, but is basically, that invoices are due. If they go 30 days past due, there's supposed to be interest that gets charged on that. I've never done that. The agreement is year to year. There's a 90-day notice period to terminate it. And then, this is the entire agreement by the parties, and then finally our signature pages. So that's the contract that outlines the general services and the extraordinary services. One of the questions that was asked was, how can we minimize extraordinary services? The easiest way to minimize extraordinary services is to not get me involved in things that would fall outside of the general services contract unless absolutely necessary. So internally, there are things that can be done. The best example I can think of recently is 1023 Beals Avenue, which everyone sort of knows is that house that's collapsed and was condemned a year and a half ago and is falling onto the street. So I recently, within the last billing cycle, was asked to prepare the scope of services for the request for proposals that went out to contractors. There's really no reason to have the attorney do that. That's something that can be handled in-house, the administrative arm of the village. So that's the easiest way is, if there are things that can be done in-house, take care of them in-house. Writing the scope of services doesn't really require a lawyer. That's something that can be done in-house. So that's the simple answer. There are things that, obviously you have to get a lawyer involved with. So we filed a collection action against, I believe it's called 3 Women Inc., but they were the company that owed the village like $45,000 in back taxes. So I was asked to file a lawsuit. That obviously requires, an attorney to do, and that's not an extraordinary expense you can really avoid. The biggest savings for the village really came after the disbanding of the police department in 2015. As everyone I think is aware, one of the reasons we had to disband the police department is we were basically no longer insurable. And one of the reasons we were no longer insurable is we got sued a lot. And so every time a lawsuit came, I had to get involved in that lawsuit. Now, we did have insurance defense coverage, so I didn't have to get involved a ton. But with the number of suits that were being filed, there were certainly fees that got generated. So that's a long way of me saying due diligence, best practices, compliance protocols, those eliminate lawsuits. If we can eliminate lawsuits, we eliminate the need for lawyers. I could talk forever about this, but there might be some questions, and I know we're getting towards 7:45 and past the time for the regular meeting, so I'll stop here and entertain questions that anybody might have. Not a very exciting topic, I know.
I'm sorry, Ms. Key, I didn't notice I was on mute
Okay,
again.
sure.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And I appreciate you for answering those questions and showing the contract, because I too had not been able to read that particular contract. So I just had 2 questions. One of which part of your contract says, in the extraordinary services, it says something to the effect of if it's deemed an extraordinary service. Who deems it an extraordinary service?
Let me pull that back up real quick. Let's see, that's a PDF.
And it was in that second paragraph when
Yep.
you were talking about the services.
Yeah, so it says firms shall also provide extraordinary services to the village. It goes through the rates and how it's going to be billed. And then it says extraordinary services shall include all items not specifically identified as general services.
So that that
Sorry.
language? That's what I'm trying to understand. Who
It would-
determines extraordinary services?
It would be all the things, if it's one of the things listed in the first paragraph, it's general services. If it's not listed there, it's extraordinary services.
Gotcha. So may I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
Mayor, are you okay with that? So, and I'm going off of memory. In one of our last meetings, Vice Mayor was able to send me a copy of one of the bills where I think the extraordinary services was somewheres of, somebody help me. I'm not gonna say the dollar amount because I don't want to say it wrong, but it was
It was-
extraordinary.
It was about 7,000.
Was it 7,000?
About
Thank you.
that.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. And it had, just like you said, it was, put into time frames and, so many minutes, lumped in, made this flat rate or what have you. But a lot of what I was reading said emails. And so that's what was throwing me off a bit. And I was like, how is email extraordinary service? And how were some of the things identified as extraordinary service without going into, and I know you're not the lawyer for us individually, but as a committee and as a council, you are the solicitor for the village. And so that's what I was scratching my head trying to understand that piece of it.
So if it's an email related to an extraordinary service matter, and 1023 Beals is a good example again. We have Hamilton County involved because they are providing the funding. We of course got the village involved because the village we're trying to do some things with the vehicles that are on the property. So when those emails come out and I'm reading them and responding to them, because that matter is an extraordinary service matter, that email gets recorded as an extraordinary service matter. And for example, today there was an email that came out from Emily Carnahan saying, hey, I was talking to Terry Wells, a contractor, and he said there might be a process whereby we can have the BMV transfer the title into the name of the village on those vehicles, and then we could remove them. And I responded back, I'm not familiar with that process. The process we discussed was filing a complaint for injunctive relief, seeking an order allowing the sheriff's office to go on the property and remove it. So while it is a email, the email is not only about an extraordinary service matter, it is about legal action and legal procedures for dealing with some things.
Okay, so and I guess where's the stop gap? Where is that stopping point of either coming
I
back?
I don't need to be involved in 1023.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how do we now say from your organization, hey, this is a matter that can be handled internally. If I handle it, it is considered extraordinary services. Is that conversation happening? Maybe I'm missing that part, and it is happening, and I just don't know. I guess that's
we have a manager now.
we had somebody acting as manager before, so I just want to make sure that process is in place, so that. And I'm not saying that we're blindsided, because we may not be. We just get it later than when it actually occurs, and just trying to mitigate it, because we don't want to find ourselves having to be out of budget and now having to move things because we have individuals sending emails all about extraordinary services, and then they keep sending emails and it keeps adding up. At some point, I'm just looking for, how do we bounce it back saying, hey, just want you to know these are all extraordinary services. And I'm because I saw a lot of individual council people's names on that bill. So it wasn't like it was from one person. Or it didn't seem like it was one topic, and it could have been, I don't know, but that's my thinking. I think I probably raised enough of the questions at the last meeting, which is why they invited you here, and then some other ones had some conversation. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, my experience with this has been that extraordinary services has ebbed and flowed over the last 13 years. I gave the one example prior to 2015. It seems, and of course this is based on memory, so maybe my memory is imperfect, but it seems when you have a strong manager in place who's got their hand in the mix, my extraordinary services are very limited. it usually comes down to legal actions. When, you know, the village has obviously gone through some transition with managers over the last 4 or 5 years, that's where the problem comes up. And I think, to be fair to the staff that's there, the village unfortunately is not blessed with a large staff. You have a lot of people wearing, you know, a lot of hats and in many instances doing yeoman's work. And, you know, I'm sometimes, I think, just a relief valve of, okay, we can get Deepak to do this. And now we can deal with the million other things we got that we're trying not to let crash. So I do think, you know, with getting a strong manager in, who has a good administrative assistant with them, I think you'll see a lot of this dissipate, because I don't need to be involved in grants. I don't need to be involved in the 1023 deals type of stuff unless it gets to legal action. Those are all things that can be handled internally. And I think if you have a strong manager in place with a strong assistant, you'll see that level of service decline.
Mr. Daniels?
So, and my only question is, and maybe I read it wrong, if you don't mind pulling that contract back up one more time. So it's just on the part on what is just general services. So even on, and I don't mind getting into the detail of it, but even on something, what at what point is it no longer just general village services? Because even that seems kind of vague in itself. Because I'll use myself for example, the quarterly tax payment pieces, and then the situation that went with me and my quarterly taxes, and that was on the billing. Like, wouldn't that in itself just be just like general government issues?
No, that would be something that would be considered extraordinary, because at the point that we were at there, the next step was removal from council. And that's not something that normally comes up, you know. And obviously I presume I have your permission to talk about this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I mean, you know, the charter contemplates that council members are going to be current on their tax filings and tax payments. And so that's a qualification requirement to be a council member. So when that comes up, where I start getting the tax administrator contacting me saying, hey, you know, here's the situation. We got a council member who may no longer be qualified. And then I have to start delving into, why is it? You know, are they contesting tax liability? Are they stating that, you know, you've made a mistake? Those are not things that are generally part of what I do. A better example for me would be, I got a call after the last meeting with some concerns about getting back to a more structured timeline for getting material to council members. That to me is, all right, that's a general service matter, right? I don't view that as something that would be extraordinary.
So my question is, kind of, you determine that then?
Well, I go by what we have in the contract, and you know, to be honest, there are a lot of times that I get grief from my firm because I put things under the general services that they think should be under special. So I try to always err on the side of putting things under general. But the specific example you brought up would be something I would consider extraordinary. And the example I brought up where somebody asked me about how can we get a timeline in place for council to receive its packet earlier, that I consider to just be a general function of my office.
And Madam, I'm sorry, Madam Mayor, you're on mute, but is it okay if I just ask one quick follow-up on that?
Yeah, just one quick so we can get moving. Go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am. So even on that, I guess it's just even so how that could even be perceived, because even as a council member during that back and forth, I had a question for you. Like, I was asking you questions where it was one where nobody knew the answer, and it's been, and it's been like that. It seemed like that. It was there a couple times where if we got to find the answer, then that's more hours, then that goes to something, right? Because it said on there that as a council member, I have the right to just ask you general questions. And it seems like a general question within our contract, within the charter, especially if you're talking about, your taxes, that would seem like to me that would be, but then it just comes to interpretation. So moving forward, is there a way where we can distinguish, and make that clearer, and it's not so much, it seems a little vague. If it's just me, then it's just me, and I apologize. But it seems vague, and it could be kind of, there's no specific, this is general, this is not, and it's kind of based upon interpretation. And that seems a little dangerous at times.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. And what I typically do is send the bill to the finance director and copy the manager on it. And, one of my first statements in my transmittal correspondence is, if you have any questions or comments about the bill, please contact me. As you could see, I'm very narrative. Most attorneys are not. They just write telephone call with council member. I'm going to tell you what it was about, what we talked about, because those are privileged communications. They can't be seen under the Public Records Act. And the reason I take the time to provide those narrative descriptions, which take me a significant amount of time to do on a daily basis, is because I view that as my most important communication with my client, because I'm asking you for money and you have to see the value in the services I'm providing. So when those bills come, the manager should review them promptly. And then if there are questions about it, contact me so that we can discuss them. I don't deem myself to be perfect, and maybe I did make a mistake. Maybe something should have been billed under general when it was billed under extraordinary, or vice versa. And it would also, if council members want to see the bill, they could ask the manager for a copy and are welcome to call me about it and, say, hey, I'm, questioning this call. And there's no charge for that.
Okay.
That's
what I was going to say. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you make a good point. It's a dialogue. It's a matter of communicating. I rarely have, clients, have issues with their bill, because I do try to be transparent and descriptive, but hey, I'm open to talking about anything. And if I made a mistake, I made a mistake and I'll own it. But the key is timely review and communication. You're absolutely right about that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Desai. We're going to move
We're going
on.
to talk about the raise.
Finance. That sounds like finance.
We'll take care of it, Mr. Desai.
Okay. Finance.
No, but seriously, thank you for the opportunity to address that. It's a very important thing, and I appreciate it, being brought up and getting an opportunity to address it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. If there's nothing else, we're gonna do an adjournment, and do we need a break, or do we gonna go straight into it? Yes, Miss. Oh, I seen a hand go up. Okay, take a 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna do a 5-minute after adjournment. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, ayes have it. 5 minutes.
We're off the air. We're off the air, right?
We're not in executive session. We're just taking 5 minutes for ones that needed to get away, but thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
We are still alive though.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still live.
What y'all doing? Knees hurt. Sitting too long.
Put your mute button on, Ms. Mitchell.
Stephen, can you mute Miss Mitchell's phone? I think she's away from it. Thank you.
Ms. Baber, I love the lights. You did the lights on the poles? I can't hear you.
You on mute,
I
Miss
can't
Baker.
hear you.
Yeah, she
But
did them.
I like those. I like those lights. I noticed them the other day.
The only thing is, if the sun don't shine, they don't recharge. So we have to wait. We have to pray for the sun.
Yeah. Very nice touch, though.
Thank you.
And the thing about them too, Ms. Baber, I know, like you said, and I think, because if you catch them like on multiple sunny days, then they hold a charge too. Like I know we've been getting a couple cloudy ones and not a lot of sun, but like if you get a few sunny days back to back, and then if you get one cloudy day, it should still work though. But yeah, like Ms. Second vice mayor on that one. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I don't know if you noticed it's like little lights on, but some of them are lit and then some of them are not. But you need like 8 hours worth of sun for them to activate.
Oh.
So we're praying for sun.
Let the light shine.
Amen.
Stephen, you can lift off Miss Mitchell. Hopefully she's coming back on. Miss Baby, they are very pretty, beautiful. We need to get some more. Can we get some more? They're beautiful. Yeah.
Good luck finding them.
Oh, yeah.
They were hard to find.
Well, it's like we was blessed with those. And when I seen them, since I knew it was so hard to get.
Thank you very much for that. Okay. Miss Mitchell, if you can hear us, we're about to get started. It's 8:03. That's my 5 minutes.
Go ahead.
All right.
Mr. Daniels, are you there?
I am here.
The Village of Lincoln Heights regular council meeting is now in session. Today's date, November 23rd, and the time is 8:04. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Present.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Present.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Present.
We have 7 who are present. We do have a quorum.
Ms. Key, could you honor us with a prayer tonight?
Sure. Most gracious Father, we want to thank you for allowing us to be here just one more day. We want to thank you for the use and activities of our limbs and our faculties. We want to thank you for allowing us to be in this position to do business for the village of Lincoln Heights. We ask you, Lord, to protect our village, to protect the families that's within our village. Those who are sick and who are mourning today, we ask you to stop by and give them a healing touch. God, we ask you to be with us as we do the business of the village. As we conduct business, we ask you to let us do it in a decency and in order and something that is pleasing unto you. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
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 All right, next is the acceptance of the agenda. Is there a motion of the acceptance of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second for the acceptance of the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
all right, thank you. Ayes have it. Motion in order for the filing of the journal for the committee of the whole meeting minutes from November 9th and regular council meeting minutes from November 9th. Is there a motion?
Move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Announcements, Councilman Daniels.
Yes, this Wednesday at St. Monica Center, there will be a walkthrough hot meal for Thanksgiving. We had 300 meals thanks to Reconciled Church, Cafe Hope, St. Monica Center, the Guys Missionary Baptist Church, and the Heights Movement. Also, if you need a meal delivered to you, you have 2 options. You can either email Brother Pearl, or you can go to the heightsmovement.com and just click get involved, and then just type in your information, and you can also get a meal delivered to you as well. That is and then also, because we won't have a meeting after that. Also, starting next week, we'll have our toy drive for our toy drive. So we'll have a toy drive set up at our corner. The times will be from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The theme this year will be gifts for grades. So we're accepting all new gifts, no used gifts, please, all new gifts. And then parents, you also have an opportunity to register your kids based upon their GPA. That'll be the type of gift they'll get. But we want to make sure that every kid in Lincoln Heights gets a gift. So please get registered. And once again, feel free to drop a gift off at our corner starting November the 30th. Those are my announcements.
Okay, all right. Ms. Baber, any announcement for you?
No announcement. Sorry about that.
Okay, all righty. Ms. Childs Jeter, any announcement for you?
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all and to the village of Lincoln Heights. And please stay with your family inside your own house so that we can keep COVID on the outside. Be blessed.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Mitchell, any announcement? Okay.
No, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Key.
No announcements, but just want to be ever thankful for the communities and the organizations that have come through and blessed our families in the village during this holiday season. Some families are experiencing some hardship and they do need help, even though they might not say it. So we do appreciate it. We want to let everybody know that, once again, like Mr. Daniel said, if you need help, just reach out to us. I'm sure any member of council inbox us or whatever. we will make sure with discretion that we help you and your families in need, whatever need there is, being it whatever it is. We don't want anybody to feel lonely during this time. It is a tough time for a lot of people. So we want to make sure that you know that we are here to support you in whatever way we can.
Right, thank you. Vice Mayor Stinson.
Yes, I have an announcement. December 1st at 6 p.m. we will have Respect My Block, and we will be discussing the Lincoln Heights Diamond Jubilee at 6 p.m. The Zoom link will be on the website, or you can call down to Village Hall and they'll give you the link.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right. Let's see, that leaves me. I don't have any announcements right now. I did want to thank Miss Baber again for the wonderful Christmas solar lights around the poles. They're a beautiful sight to see at night, and we're going to try to find some more because they're nice. So I just want to thank Miss Baber again. They're very nice to see.
Beautiful sight to see. That's a Christmas song, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. All right. So we've got that. I did this. Announcements. Miss Pope, is there any announcement for you? Or Mr. Willis?
Okay, I just have one announcement. Wednesday, the building will be closed at 12 o'clock for sanitation. This is our scheduled bi-weekly sanitation for the building. It has been changed from Friday to Wednesday.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that. So next, we have introduction to our new village manager, Miss Joyce Powdrill. Ms. Powdrill, is there anything you'd like to say?
Thank you for having the confidence to choose me as your village manager. It is an honor and privilege to be a part of the village. You all are now my home, and I consider the village of Lincoln Heights part of my home. And it is my goal and my attempt to help you move all of your agendas forward. So in the next coming weeks, my assistant will be reaching out to you individually. I'd like to spend just maybe coffee, breakfast, or lunch with you just to talk through what your priorities are, and seeing how we can take those priorities and make it a priority for the village in the next coming years, not months, years. So, and that includes you too, Mr. Desai. I hope to have an opportunity to sit down and meet with you. If you are uncomfortable meeting one-on-one, I have the access to Zoom, so we can meet on Zoom one-on-one if you like to do that. Ms. Childs-Jeters, Councilwoman Childs-Jeters, that might be your preference, so I'm okay with that. And if anyone has any questions for me?
Anyone?
I know, but I have something to say. They really have talked about me down there about not coming. So I thank you for the opportunity to meet with you at any time.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, Vice Mayor.
I look forward to meeting you via Zoom as well. I'm not meeting anybody in person.
Okay, wonderful.
We believe in science, Vice Mayor.
Mr. Daniels, you had your hand up.
I was gonna say once again, just thank you for coming on board. Looking forward to however we meet, whether it be we social distant or virtually. We can just simply step outside and sit across from the benches. Whatever, I'm not throwing out. All I'm saying is just thank you for being here. So yes,
I'm very flexible. Whatever works for you and makes you feel comfortable and safe. I'm not asking anybody to do anything outside of their comfort zone or anything that makes you feel unsafe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Ms. Key.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say welcome, Ms. Powdrill. We know we got the chance to interview you. You come with a long resume of events and activities and projects and things that you have done. And we look forward to working with you to expand the vision of the village and to continue on making this the best kept secret, but soon to be, you know, highlight the city on the hill.
Yep. Yep. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Ms. Mitchell, I don't see you, but is there anything you wanted to say? I didn't want to miss anybody.
Just want to welcome Ms. Powdrill. I'm just excited to have her here as she is to be here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Baber. Ms. Baber.
I'm just saying welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. And Ms. Pope.
Okay, I've been talking with Ms. Powdrill all day, and so I would like to also say welcome. I'm so glad that you're here, and I look forward to working with you.
So we just want to say thank you, Ms. Powdrill. And now that you are in that seat, we will talk. We've been talking a lot, but we'll get you acclimated to the partners that we have, and hopefully you're going to be finding new partners to add to the list. But we're very excited about the journey that we're going to have with you for years to come and how we move the village forward. Mr. Daniels, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, one quick technical question. What's the best email in the intro? Would it be the village email or which email should we use, Ms. Powell?
The village email.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
it's working. Yes.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
It's J Powdrill.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we've been busy. I want to thank Mr. Thornhill, that he's not on the call with us, but I do want to thank Mr. Thornhill, who has been very, made himself available for us each time that we have asked him to get our laptops and things ready for Ms. Key and Ms. Powdrill. So I just want to thank him for being available. And as we move the village forward, I'm thankful that our RT, our website, which we're working on, has came a long way. So I do want to thank him. And anything that you need, Ms. Powdrill, we're just a phone call. All of us are just a phone call or email away.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. So we're going to go into the next is hearing from the residents. So the clerk of council, Ms. Randolph, she's going to be addressing a letter that she received. So Ms. Randolph, you ready?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I got a phone call from Ms. Nettie Matthews, and she wanted me to read a statement to council. Each council person has received or should have received via email the actual statement. And it says, "Greetings to you from beautiful Lincoln Heights. My people, I want you to understand that we will have no disrespect of our council members or anyone affiliated with us. We are here to solve problems together and try to understand each other. We want to help the community, and we cannot do it if we are arguing, bickering, and finding fault with each other. If anybody continues to do this, they will be written up by the community people. Love, peace, and unity from Miss Nettie Matthews." And that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Nettie. I know you had sent that, so I just want to thank you. And any residents, if you're unable to attend, you can always contact the clerk of council, and she'll be able to fill that out and do a response for you. Okay. Next would be on the regular agenda, communications to council. Ms. Randolph, do you have any communication?
No, ma'am, not at this time.
All right, communication from the mayor. I don't have anything, but I was gonna put it in miscellaneous, but I will communicate that I did get a phone call from Ms. Pearson pertaining to CMHA housing, and it had to do with the noise. So it appears, which I was hoping that they would be able to come to the meeting tonight. So I'm sure we will hear something from them next month. But she had contacted the village regarding the noise, and I thought she was talking about the shooting range, but evidently they have ran against, as they're planning to renovate the housing, there's a problem with the noise coming from the highway. So when she sent me an email, she mentioned about having a wall. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Pope. Okay, she had mentioned about a wall, and she was calling because I guess they may have problems with trying to get the properties completed, and they ran against, I guess maybe that was a criteria for them to be able to put a sound wall to alleviate the highways. But I asked her, well, they already hear gun sounds, but they will be coming back. I guess Chris Kaysen, she's looking to talk with them because evidently CMH Housing do not have funds to build a sound wall. And I asked her, well, where would the sound wall be? Because when she first reached out to me, I thought she was talking about a sound wall all the way across. And I know that was something council had talked about, not wanting to be hidden behind a wall. So she did let me know it was basically a partial wall that has to do with the housing for the renovation of CMH Housing. So I just wanted to communicate that to you guys and let you know that evidently they'll be coming to talk with us about that. I guess they were looking for funding, and they were trying to find out if ODOT will be able to fund it because they would not be able to put it there themselves. Yes, Mr. Daniels?
Has relocation been brought up at all, or is it just it's just specifically just been talked about the wall and just renovations?
It's just the wall. They're not planning to relocate. They just need a sound wall there from the highway. So I told her I didn't get any additional. I'm waiting to get additional information, and then I asked her, well, if are they wanting an ask of us? I think they want our blessing, but we do need to, if something was like that was going to happen, we need to make sure that it's not a wall covering the entire village of Lincoln Heights. It's very beautiful, the new highway bridge, and I would like the village to be seen. But it looks like another conversation is going to happen, and they'll be coming to talk to us about it. So that was my communication that I had. Ms. Pope, is there any communication from you? I see two speakers. Ms. Pope? Well, we'll come back to Ms. Pope. Okay, all right, we're going to go into committee reports. We have listed law committee report. We were waiting to get that in writing because we're trying to stick to having our standing committee reports. Mr. Daniels, would you have your law committee report? I know we didn't get anything. Ms. Randolph had reached out in order to get a copy to share with everyone.
Yeah, when I got my minutes, I sent the report in, so maybe I didn't email it. If I didn't email it to you, Miss Lisa, let me know, but you should have an email of it.
Unless you did it after 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
today.
Yeah.
If it was after 5 today, I did not.
Yeah, it was after 5. It was after 5 after we talked. So, but yeah, I got my report. So, do you want me to wait till next week to read it, or you want to wait now, right, Madam Mayor? It's up to you.
I want to wait because in case council has some questions regarding the report, we can just wait. We're going to be fine tuning our reports anyway to get them all in by the end of the year. So we'll put you on the agenda to give that report the first meeting in December. Okay. Next would be the Recreation Committee report, and thank you. You, Ms. Baber, for turning that in. So, Ms. Baber.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is my recreation report. The meeting date and time was Wednesday, November the 4th at 5:30. The members present was myself, Mr. Daniels, and Ms. Keys. The meeting summary is the Lincoln Heights Parade 2021. Councilman Daniels would like to an alternate plan for a parade if COVID-19 is still around. And I would like to do the graduation parade where we take the parade to the residents if need be. And then Councilwoman Keys would like to see fireworks at the end of Lincoln Heights Day. And Vice Mayor has invited recreation and the community to plan Lincoln Heights Day, parade, and other functions for the month of August 2021 at Respect My Block, first Tuesday of every month. Mayor Kenzie Mumphrey would like to see the car show during Lincoln Heights Day 2021. Councilman Daniels would like to see a board and commission flyers for the parents of Lincoln Heights Elementary so that they will know what's happening in the village. Assistant Village Manager Donna Poe suggested appropriating a certain amount of monies for Lincoln Heights Day for the 75th anniversary. Vice Mayor Stinson suggested putting down payments on rides. And I also agree because rides are high. And then I suggested if we do not do Lincoln Heights Day on Memorial Field, let's do it on Douglas Street from Prairie Street to Adams Street, and ask the churches along Douglas Street to help with the function by using their parking lots as well as electricity as needed. And I also would like to see Lincoln Heights lit up for the holidays. And then my action items, well, I put forth effort to light up Lincoln Heights for the holidays. Happy holidays, Lincoln Heights. Everyone enjoy the lights and pray for the sun so that the solar lights shall remain lit through the holiday season. And then a recommendation, let's put forth effort to work together to have a grand celebration for our 75th year. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Is there a motion? Yes, ma'am.
Madam Mayor, maybe a suggestion. Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you, Ms. Baber. I think that's a grand idea to have a light up the village, and maybe we can make it like official, like, you know, do something to encourage everybody to put lights on their houses or, you know, lights out in their yard or something like that. I know some communities do, where they do those little bags with lights on them. I don't know what we would do, but I just think it's very festive, and I think it will uplift a lot of spirits.
Thank you, Ms. Key. Okay, if there's nothing further, is there a motion to accept Ms. Baber's Recreation Committee report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Thank you again. Even though it's listed committee reports, looks like there's a typo because I do have economic development, Ms. Key. It should also be in your packet.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Mayor, you want me to do a summary on it?
Yeah, just give me a summary on it.
Okay, thank you. So Economic Development met on November 2nd. All members were present. Myself, Vice Mayor Stinson, Linda Childs-Jeters, Laverne Mitchell, and Councilwoman Phyllis Baber. We did, and there's some additional members are individuals that was present as well, the Assistant Village Manager, Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey, and Councilman Daniels. We did accept the previous committee minutes. We presented announcements, and we actually went into executive session for the remaining time of the meeting. And I do have that the committee meeting will resume regular agenda items on December 1st, but I think that's the wrong date. So I'll have to go back and get that date and correct it. But that was all for that particular meeting, but we will resume the regular agenda items, pulling from the last meeting into new items that will be on the new meeting.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any questions? Motion, is there a motion to accept Ms. Key's report for
So moved.
economic development? It's moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Thank you. Okay. All right. Next, old business. Is there any old business? All right, new business. All right. Motion in order for the first reading of resolution number 2020 R36. Resolution establishing a special revenue fund for the public entities pool of Ohio Safety Grant.
Motion here by title only.
Second.
It's been moved in second to read by title only. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Faber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Deron Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2020-R-36. Resolution establishing a special revenue fund for the public entities pool of Ohio Safety Grant.
Motion in order to suspend the rules of resolution 2020 R36.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Faber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Deron Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Okay. Questions? Any questions?
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
this is for $1,000, correct?
Mm.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Motion in order for passage of resolution 2020 R36.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Faber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Deron Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
You have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion to accept the emergency clause.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Faber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Deron Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Thank you. Motion in order for resolution number 2020 R 37, resolution authorizing the finance director to transfer 2020 appropriations between expenditure classifications in the general fund.
Motion to read by title only.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Faber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion to suspend the rules.
I have to read the title.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
thought we already read it. I was ready.
No, we just did the vote. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2020-R-37, resolution authorizing the finance director to transfer 2020 appropriations between expenditure classifications in the general fund.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Any question?
Madam Mayor.
Any question? Yes, Ms. Key.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I was just wondering if we can have the village manager discuss the details of the reason for this resolution.
The assistant manager.
Or the assistant manager. I'm sorry, Donna Pope. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Pope.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to apologize. I got an uninvited guest who knocked on my door. So the reason for this resolution is we have to transfer between one department from contractual services to capital, the cost of the police vehicles. There was nothing appropriated, so we have to transfer that appropriation from one account to the other account.
Okay.
So contract services to capital.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Pope. Okay. No other questions? Motion in order for passage of resolution 2020 R-37.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion to accept the emergency clause.
Second.
Been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Okay. Motion in order for resolution number 2020 R-38. Resolution authorizing the assistant village manager to enter into a vehicle purchase contract with Cincy Autos Incorporated, DBA Lebanon Ford, for the purchase of 2 new police vehicles and to the purchase from PAR Public Safety Equipment associated equipment for said vehicles. Your motion?
I
Motion to
like the
read by
motion that
title
we read it by title only.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell, Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2020-R-38. Resolution authorizing Assistant Village Manager to enter into a vehicle purchase contract with Cincy Autos, Inc., DBA Lebanon Ford, for the purchase of 2 new police vehicles and to purchase from PAR Public Safety Equipment associated equipment for said vehicles.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second. It's been moved in second to suspend the rules. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Any question? Any question?
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the dollar amount on this?
For PAR equipment, that's the outfitting of the vehicles, is $64.59.90, $6,459.90.
And that covers both vehicles?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, if I could just interject.
Yes.
Ms. Pope, so we've got 2 costs, right? We've got the 64,000 for the vehicles and then the 6,000 for the equipment. That's a total of 70,681.90. Is that accurate?
If you have 32,000 a piece for the vehicles, $32,111 and $111. And the other amount was for the outfitting, the $62.49.90.
Right.
I'm sorry, $64.59.90.
Okay. And those 2 figures together are $70,681.90. Okay. Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
minus the $9,000 that was given to us for the wrecked vehicle.
So one vehicle this year was in an auto accident and it was totaled, and that amount was approximately 9,000. So subtract that out.
All right. Any questions? Any more questions? Motion for passage of resolution 2020-R-38.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman,
Oh, when I'm ready to take you, baby, I can't take you right now.
Ms. Mitchell, we can hear you. We're
Okay,
in the middle of a
thank you.
vote.
Oh, yeah.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion to receive the emergency calls.
Second.
Been moved in second, roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion in order for reading of resolution number 2020 R39, resolution authorizing the assistant village manager to purchase a 2020 Ford F-550 snow truck from Reichert Ford for service department operations and to enter into a lease purchase agreement with Ford Motor Credit Company for the financing of said vehicle.
So
Motion.
moved.
Motion.
Second.
It's
Don't we have
been
to-
moved.
I'm sorry, I think we have to make a motion to read by title only. I think we have to do that first. You didn't make it. Yeah, we didn't motion anything. You just said so moved. Unless I'm tripping.
No, you're not tripping. You're correct. I moved to read by title only.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second to read by title only of resolution 2020 R39. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell, Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Keep saying yes. I don't know what's wrong.
We didn't
Yeah.
hear you. Oh,
I
I
can't
didn't.
hear you.
Sorry, didn't hear you. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2020-R-39. Resolution authorizing the assistant village manager to purchase a 2020 Ford F-550 snow truck from Reichert Ford for service department operations and to enter into a lease purchase agreement with Ford Motor Credit Company for the financing of said vehicle.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
7 aye votes, the motion passed.
Question.
Yes, Ms. Key.
Thank you. Ms. Pope, were you able to tell us when we will actually receive the snow truck after we purchase?
The snow truck is available now. It's in Columbus, Ohio. They can deliver it. It'll be $150 to deliver it.
But we'll have it by December, first part of December, you thinking? Or before?
As soon as we, I
Can get,
wanted to wait until this resolution was passed, and then they can go up, or they can start sending it, schedule for it to come down.
okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Vice Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. The cost of the vehicle and over how many years? What would be paying for it?
It's 5 years and the cost is annually 20,000. It's
Thank you.
19, but rounding up. If you need the exact amount, Ms. Stinson.
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay. Okay. Because I have it if you need it.
It's attached, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be $19,324.44.
Yes, Councilman Daniels.
I have this is a miscellaneous question. It might be more for finance, and if so, I'll save it for there. But
Is it for, it's for this, right, what we're talking about?
yeah. It retains to this because it had to deal with the fact that we're paying it off in 5 years. So the village's kind of credit rating or credit score, Ms. Pope, I was just curious if you had an idea of just kind of where we stand, because it seems like we're pretty consistent of paying things off and doing things of that nature. Just I didn't know if you could just have an idea of just how our what you know, how we are relative to that. Do we have a pretty relatively good credit score? Is it medium? Is it low? I didn't know if you had an idea. If not, I could just say that for finance. But
okay, save it for finance because I don't have that.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, but I can get that.
Just curious.
I can get that.
Okay. I did, Mr. Jamal Willis did mention regarding the flat rate. That was the information that we asked him to give. Mr. Willis?
Yes, it varies. It varies. It can be, like I said, it can be 5.9. It can go down to 4. It just varies by the time of the year. But 4 determines that the village's credit has nothing to do with the annual percentage rate.
Okay, and then you had shared that it's a flat rate for municipalities.
Yes, like I said, it like if it was 5.9 a day, next month you could come back and it could be like 4.7. It changes throughout, like every monthly it changes. So, but it's been 5 and it's been 5 since about September, so it ain't really changed a lot.
Okay. And you had mentioned, you also, I just wanted to, for the record, I wanted you to mention that it was not based on the village's credit. That was something that you said in committee of the whole. Is that correct, Mr. Willis?
Yes, the village's credit has nothing to do with that.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Is there anything else on this? Okay, is there a motion for passage of resolution 2020 R39?
So move for passage.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Next is miscellaneous business.
I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss employment and compensation of a public employee.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion passed.
Mayor,
Yes.
will we be conducting any more business after executive session?
No, ma'am.
Well, we might.
Well, we
Yeah.
might. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right.
And
Mr.
just real quick, I believe Ms. Stinson sent out a link for executive session. Is that what we're using to go into executive session?
Yes, sir.
All
I
right,
don't
so we're,
see it.
Ms. Baber,
I
I
don't
think I
see
may
it.
have sent it to both of your emails. I sent it, if you have 2 emails, I sent it to both. That goes for Ms. Charles Jeters, Ms. Mitchell, and Ms. Key. I can resend it to you, Phyllis. I think I can.
So did you send it for 9 o'clock or just any time?
Well, it can be anytime. I think I put like maybe 7:30, 8:30 for 3 hours.
Okay, okay, all right,
As long as I can get there before you all, I can let everybody in.
okay.
Okay, let's go.
And you guys are done with us or? you?
No, we'll be back.
No.
Okay.
We'll be back. It shouldn't take long.
well, does Ms. Powdrell need to stick around?
Yeah, that's the question.
Not if she doesn't want to.
I mean, I just don't, based on the topic, I'm not sure she needs to stick around. I think that's kind of the question.
Yeah, she doesn't have to.
I
It's
don't
fine.
have-
She doesn't have to. No, ma'am.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
You're
Thank you, Ms.
welcome.
Powdrell.
All right.
All right.
Wow. I sure can't find it.
I can, Councilwoman Baber, I can send a text to the mayor to let her know that, and then maybe Vice Mayor can reach out to you again.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll do that. Councilwoman Baber, I just sent the email, I'm sorry, the text message to the mayor.
All right, huh? Thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
Did they respond?
no, but I found it.
Oh, okay, great. Okay.
Wait a
great.
minute, now I gotta get out of here. What did I do? I gotta leave.
I'm not quite sure how that works. Okay.
So Ms. Stinson, what is your background? Dang.
Mine? My
Yes.
background?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I Googled something and it was some Airbnb thing that I don't know. I got a few of them.
We should do one for the holidays the next time.
Yeah, I just learned how to figure, how to do it. So.
Well, I had a picture that said Happy Thanksgiving. And I started to put that on there, but then I didn't know I'd do it. It's fun.
Let me take the stuff off the stove.
Uh-oh.
Stephen, are we back on? I gotta let the screen roll.
Yeah, I just took the graphic down.
Oh, we're back live?
Yeah, we've stayed live. It was just that graphic was on.
Oh, okay. Ms. Baber is not in.
What do you mean by we stayed live? I left the meeting and came back to it, so.
Just for like the stream going on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay.
It's just had that graphic up for about like 20-30 minutes.
Okay, there she go. All right. The Village of Lincoln Heights is now back in session, Monday, November 23rd. The time is 9:46. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Take your mute off.
You're on mute, Ms. Baber.
Present.
Thank you. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Present.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Present.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Present.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Present.
We have 7 who are present. We do have a quorum.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to make a motion authorizing you, the mayor, to offer Joyce Powdrill a salary of $80,000 plus 15 days of paid time off.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Motion for adjournment. Is there anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry, Madam Mayor. One quick thing. We talked about it earlier. Can we make a motion that we will make our Six Sigma training sessions public to everybody? They already are, but just making a motion out of here. I don't know if I'm even saying that the right way, but I just got rushed out of here. So can I make a motion that we offer the public Six Sigma project training offered by GE every Friday, starting next week at noon?
I have a question on that. So, Mr. Daniels,
can you get the motion through and then ask the question?
Well, so we should have a motion and then a second and then have discussion.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, so the motion was made by Mr. Daniels, the second by Ms. Key. Roll call.
No. Now you should have
Mayor.
discussion.
Oh, question, I'm sorry. All right, discussion. Yes,
So the
Ms.
question I
Mitchell.
have is it our training or is it GE's training? Because if it's GE's training, then how do we dictate what they do? So if it's our training, I can understand all the issues that questions and concerns that we had. But is it our training that we are providing, or someone is providing this training for us?
I guess what we would be providing, and I'm just asking, we will be providing the link to all members of the community to join us. So even though GE is hosting the meeting, we're just giving everybody access to the link throughout the community.
Okay, I just think that needs to be clear. Yeah, like that. Not that we are doing the training. You know what I'm saying? Providing the link for training for the project management.
So you're suggesting, Ms. Mitchell, that the motion should be to open the training sessions up to the public via ICRC?
Right. So that it doesn't implicate that we are providing this training.
Are they doing this through ICRC?
I thought they was doing it
No,
by
they're not.
Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, so does it have to be voted on, or you just do it? You just provide the link for the community to go on. It's an opportunity for the training. Do you need a vote for that?
When's the next training session?
Next Friday at 12, next Friday at noon.
Okay, so not this Friday, that's right, he said that in the following Friday. I can't remember what he said because this did come up in Council of the Whole. Was he open to it being open to the public?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was already open to the public. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, then maybe Ms. Childs Jeter's point is valid that, it's really a discussion to have with I forget his name, but with that gentleman to just say, hey, can you open that link up for the public, and we'll post it on our web.
Mm-hmm. So do we need to change that motion, rescind it?
I think that's what he said, wasn't it? It's open to everybody.
I think Ms. Stinson has a
Jeannie
comment.
has a question.
Yes, Vice Mayor.
My question is, can they put it at an hour where people that go to work might want to attend? I mean, it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Is it for people that don't work?
Well, you know what my experience has been that when people do it at 12, they see that as a time for those who do work to take their lunch break. I know that's what we do in other words, 12 o'clock is a lunch break if you are working. That
ain't when I take lunch.
Well, I know not you, but there may be some that don't. So typically 12 o'clock is that average time when they do 12 noon things, just like with the legislators, they do it at 11 o'clock because Driehaus did hers at 12. So they tried to get it at that lunchtime period. And of course, that's probably good for them.
My concern is if it's in the middle of the day, then if it's an opportunity for people in the village to learn a new trade or to get involved, I would want my people to be at work at that time. So I don't know, but it's whatever. But to me, it's just how many people are going to be able to participate at 12 noon?
So just a suggestion on that. So for example, in Sycamore Township, every 2 weeks, let's call it, they do a 9 a.m. trustee meeting, which of course is in the heart of the workday. So you have the ability to either watch it live streamed or they then post it on YouTube and you can go back and watch it on YouTube at your leisure. So maybe that's the answer to your valid concern, Vice Mayor.
But I think Vice Mayor was getting at to allow others to participate, to be able to be part of the conversation. That did not sound like it was going to allow a lot of people to attend, except, like herself, she can't.
Yeah.
Well,
no matter what time you do it, everybody won't be able to attend anyway. I mean,
I think the lunchtime hour is to avoid going into the second hour, so they get what they need done in that hour time.
Okay.
And people take the lunchtime to do that,
right.
So, but the Six Sigma training, I understand, is great. opportunity to learn how to do things, I believe, and I just hear, I don't know anything about the Lindy project. What is the Lindy project, Mr. Daniels?
It's just as Brother Marvin was saying, we just imagined the project, and we figured that if you were picturing during that campus, so it's the school, both the schools, the field, and the top of Lindy. If you were to do those in 3 phases, what would that look like? How would you do it? It's a hypothetical project, and you just picked a location.
Okay, so that made it easy for me. I did not understand the Lindy project, but now I know. So when I ask those questions, I'm serious about it. Things that I just did not know. Now I know. Thank you.
Ms. Key,
Thank you.
had your hand up.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think we should do a motion to cover ourselves for allowing this information to be public, because the Lean Six Sigma, it does go through a lot, and we are using a live project that we could potentially use if we wanted to. And because we have council members that's participating, we don't want anybody feeling like we are hiding a project from them. And so that's the only reason why I agree that we should at least have a motion to do the work. We're learning as we're growing, and as we're, forecasting or visioning or what have you. And I just want to make sure that we are, for compliance reasons, that we're covering ourselves. So that's why I would agree on the vote today.
So are we sponsoring it? Are we coming them out? Yeah.
We're not sponsoring.
From my understanding, Ms. Charles Jeters, when I was in the session, GE is offering the training to us. When you do a Lean Six Sigma, training, you have to have a project. And so they decided to choose something that is more live, more tangible, more concrete, that you can look at and see and visualize. The steps that they're going through is what we're really learning, how to process. It teaches you how to critically think. It teaches you how to process through, the ebbs and flows, or,
project management.
Exactly. And so it teaches you all those things. But because we're using real live opportunities or situations, or, Lindy Street is a project in our community, the elementary school, the high school, those things, we just want to cover ourselves as council being in that training, because we're going to be discussing those things. And some of those things are probably things that we have talked about before, and just to cover ourselves for compliance. It's not that, it's exciting training. It really is. And just like you said, it is something that, and I think Ms. Mitchell talked about, it is something that afterwards we can actually go and practice and learn and sit for the test. It's absolutely amazing what can be done when you learn those systems.
Well, yes, I understand. This is where you have the black belt or whatever belt that you're
Yellow,
talking about.
Yellow, green, and black.
But that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, who is the official sponsor? And we're voting for it to be presented here as a project. I mean, not as a project, but for them to present it to our community. Is that what we vote on?
That's my understanding.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been moved and second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Thank you, Council.
If there's nothing further, motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second. Second.
Good night. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
No, wait a minute.
Been moved in second.
Oh,
It's been moved in second.
I'm ready
Come
to go.
on.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.